I think Barney's main job would be to just make everybody happy and to make our children and all visitors and parents to the school smile. There's lots of children that greet him in the morning and see him before they come into school. Seeing Barney makes the start of their day. Staff might take him for a walk at lunchtime if they just want to get out and have some fresh air. Sometimes we get parents who come to have difficult conversations or things are not quite going right at home, so they might come and they have a little bit of time with Barney before they come into a meeting. So well-being is the biggest thing for him. We've got some children who struggle adapting to school and school life, so Barney helps them regulate their behaviour, so we know if behaviour is escalating, we can bring them out quickly and Barney can be used to calm those children down. And he's also used as a reward for children, so we have a token system in school, and at the end of every half term we count up all the tokens and Barney's often used as part of that reward.
Max does gate duty with me in the morning. If I hand over the dog for the children to come in, they just stop crying and they just walk. It changes their whole mindset. So they forget about the fact that they're leaving home, they're leaving mum and dad in the house. It's all about walking Max in and having responsibility for Max. We use him in ELSA sessions, with pupil-centred planning sessions. Again, to take the children's mind off what they're actually doing, they focus on Max. He accompanies children on school trips, and some of the younger classes then have used him for PSE lessons where they talked about hygiene. How do we care for Max? Max has to be bathed, Max has to have his teeth cleaned. So we use that then as an inlet to broaching that subject with children. We have to keep ourselves clean, we have to clean our teeth, and it just works.
Good morning, Debbie. Thank you very much indeed for joining us on the NAPE website today. I'm very pleased that you can come to talk to us about, and it's called Kids Around Dogs. So please tell me, who and why was this organisation set up in the first place?
So I am the founder of Kids Around Dogs, and I am a mom and I'm a dog behaviorist. And when my little girl started to have her friends over and started to, make her own friends at preschool, I noticed how many children were either very scared of dogs, terrified of dogs, or a bit too confident around dogs, trying to pull their ears, that kind of stuff. And I wanted to make sure that children were happy around dogs and not scared of them, but at the same time the dogs were then safe and also happy around the kids without them being bothered by them.
Great idea.
Yeah. I couldn't find much in the UK on this topic as such, and so I decided to create Kids Around Dogs to make sure that children and dogs could be educated as such on each other.
Yeah.
And so we are now an association, and we are everywhere in the UK and worldwide as well. We have a few members around the globe, and we help families and schools to teach children about dogs, their body language, and what they do for us, because they do a lot for us humans. And we also train dogs to be good family dogs or good school dogs as well. So it covers a bit all aspects of things. And I designed a protocol to overcome the fear of dogs in children, and touch wood, it's been very successful so far. So I'm really happy.
Very good. I mean, you say you're a dog behaviorist,
yes.
and then you said we. So could you tell us more about we? Who else is there?
Yeah. Because to me, every CADA-POO professional, so Kids Around Dogs are POO professional, is just like me, out there helping the kids and the dogs. So effectively, if there is a professional, it could be a dog professional, so a trainer, behaviorist, vet, groomer, but also teachers. So anyone in the childcare business. We have a few therapists as well, and animal assisted therapists too, that would like to join CAD. So they pass an assessment, and then they can join Kids Around Dogs and take the courses. And so, we are all together then out there helping the kids and dogs.
I mean, obviously, I'm interested how Kids Around Dogs works in schools. Does the organisation go to schools? I mean, we'll talk about resources in a moment, but how does that work?
So either we contact schools, or if the school has heard of us, they might contact their local professional. Sometimes they contact me directly, and then I get them in touch with a local professional. And we can do like school assemblies or go and visit the classrooms. And is about educating the children. So we might show some photos, or we might show some slides, or even some of us bring a dog in and teach the children like where is appropriate to, for instance, pet a dog, or when to leave a dog alone. For instance, if a dog is asleep, you wouldn't go and disturb the dog. Things like this. With maybe some little activities, some little games. Some schools is just a one-off visit. I've done many one-off visits. This is what's happening, and off you go. For some of us instead, it's more of a regular things. And probably one of the biggest thing as well is the school dogs. They are very popular.
Yes, I've heard of schools that have dogs. Yes,
yeah, indeed. I think it's become even more popular after the pandemic. Well, after, let's just say.
I understand.
I would say yes. So school dogs have proven to be very helpful for children who are not quite as happy to go to school as others, or they might have some anxiety or some other problems at home. But even just having the dog there just cheers you up a little bit. And the dog can also be seen a little bit as a reward, if you like, for a classroom doing very well. Then, the next day or later in the day, the dog will come and pay them a visit. And the dog can also teach children about hygiene, for instance. The dog gets groomed, so you also get to go and wash your head and brush your teeth, just like dogs do. Also, after maybe touching the dog, go and brush and wash your hands. So it can be educational in different ways. Dogs go to school to learn tricks and other stuff. We go to school to learn English and math and so on. So it's quite a nice comparison there. And the Kids Around Dogs approved professionals also work with training dogs that will go into schools and training the staff, and again educating the children on the fact that look, there is going to be a school dog now. So.
Each week in an assembly on a Monday, we'd announce on a rota which class we're going to be looking after Rolo that week. And so we'd come down to class and do a little visit. They'd ask all about, questions that they had about Rolo, about looking after dogs. They would take him to the park on a rota. We've got a lovely park just the other side of school. He would go with them to the park for walks. I think at his best though, for children who are a little bit wobbly, children who are feeling a bit fragile, children who might be feeling a bit worried about coming into school. When he's out at the gates in the morning and I just say to someone, would you like to walk Rolo in? All of that worry and anxiety just melts away. He really is the glue now that holds the school together.
Yeah.
Excellent. So to summarise, you take dogs into the school, sometimes just as a one-off. Sometimes you talk about how to behave around dogs, talk about grooming, you talk about hygiene, and also you help train staff if they've got a dog in the school to work with the dog, and how effective the dog can be as, if you like, a silent counsellor for particular children who need that sort of support in some way or other. Have I missed anything out?
Not really. If not that, I think it's very important to know how the dog is really key when there is a school dog. As in, we need to make sure that the dog is happy. So again, knowing, be able to recognize the body language of the dog, for example, to know that the dog is he's doing okay and he's fine, and the day is going by very well for the dog as well. It's really key if the dog is not happy, if he's overworked, for example, or if he's too stressed, then things are not going quite as planned, and that's what we're there for as well.
So if you like, you also do a health check on dogs in schools as well. I mean, do you give them the school a certificate or a big tick?
Yes. Well, the dog gets a certificate.
Oh, well, that's fine. You are dog, here's your certificate.
Don't eat it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can understand that. Now, could you do us a favor and share us your website? Because obviously we'd like to look at the free, I think they're free, downloads and the shop itself. Could you do that?
Yes. So I'm going to just share it with you now. Can you see it?
Yes, that's absolutely spot on. Yes,
Brilliant.
that's fine. Thank you.
So the website is kidsarounddogs.co.uk. So on resources, if you go into downloads, there we go. There are a few downloads now, and things always get updated and stuff. And for instance, just to show you a couple, this is a very popular one, Be a Statue. This is something I use for children, or we use for children who are scared of dogs, but also for children who may be around dogs that are a little bit overexcited, as some young dogs and teenage dog might be. So with these Be a Statue, the child would know what to do. So instead of maybe running away, they might excite the dog even more, and we really don't need that.
That sounds like very good advice to me, yes.
Instead of, I feel very often as a mom as well, we tell our children what not to do, right? Oh, don't do that, don't do that. And that's fine, but we need to tell them what to do instead, don't we? Otherwise, they just simply don't know how to handle a situation. So by being a statue, so they are standing up and they cross their arms over their chest, head down. The dog might come up to them, have them a sniff. You see in this photo, that's actually my daughter, Molly. You see in this photo, the dog, that's our dog, Winnie, coming up to my daughter with a ball, and Winnie's ball, she loves playing. So that is a classic example of her going, let's play. She wants interaction. Molly is ignoring her. She's being a statue, so nothing is happening. Yeah. And Winnie thinks, well, you're boring then. What am I here for? So she goes away. And that is what happens generally with dogs. They go, well, you've got nothing interesting to offer to me. So I'm just going to maybe sniff you because you are interesting, and dogs sniff. That's what they do. And then they'll walk away and they go, that's it. But enough of you. So
that looks like a very useful leaflet or poster, I suppose. Yeah.
Thank you. Another nice one as well. This was designed by one of our charity, approved charity, that is Be Rescue. Be Kind Rescue. And here you have a silhouette of a dog, and where is it okay to pet a dog? Very often the thing that we all do is putting our hand on top of the dog, right, on top of their head. But actually, many dogs don't like that. It's right on their
I didn't
face.
know that. Yes.
You know what we all do is that it's like an instinct thing, isn't it?
Yes.
But actually, under the chin or the chest is much better, is much more appreciated by the dog, and the back as well is always a good one. Tail and paws we should leave alone, on top of the head as well. The belly is always a tricky one, as in very often we see dogs that throw themselves on the floor and roll and show their belly, right? We've seen that a lot. But actually, often that is a sign that the dog is a bit scared. So by touching the belly, we impose ourselves even more on them. So if the dog is yours, showing the belly is very often a sign like, oh, I'm part of the family kind of thing, and that's all right. But if it's a dog you don't know, it's best if they roll on their belly, just leave them alone. And when they come back to it and maybe they shake their body, then maybe they're ready to interact after that. So to be safe, leave the belly alone as well, unless is your dog and knows you very, very well. So yeah, so
I must say, I'm sorry, number 6 looks slightly dangerous because it's under the it's under the mouth, isn't it? And I think
yeah, you know, but it is not though, because it's literally like the chin and the beginning of the chest.
Okay, so they won't
yeah
put their head down and
the dog would take it quite nicely. I know what you mean. You think, oh, it's so close to the mouth, should
it
be.
is, yes. Yeah.
Obviously, if you are worried or if the child you're working with is a little concerned, then you can just pet the back if the dog is
number 2.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, moving on. Thank you very much.
The dog will accept it quite nicely, especially compared to the top of the head.
Yep.
So you'll find other resources as well.
Very useful. Yes.
Yeah. So this one, for instance, it's about the protocol to overcome the fear of dogs, and we explain what it is. And is on 10 sessions. Is done in 10 sessions, 7 of which are online, and then 3 face-to-face. And we really is child-led because we do follow the need and the guidance effectively of the child. We never push the child to do something he or she is not ready to do, and it's on his or her pace as such. And obviously, we need to make sure the dog is also happy.
These 10 sessions, do you have to sign up somewhere to get access to them?
Yes, so you would. Oh, that's my dog's barking.
Excellent.
They want in.
Yeah. So you sign up. Is this the paying part of the process?
It is. So if you or working with a child who's scared of dogs, or maybe your own child is scared of dogs, then I suggest to go on the website and go and find an approved professional, and then you type the name of your sit-in. For example, I live in Poole, Dorset. So
very nice. Yes.
And that my detail will come up because obviously I'm the closest one to the central pool. But wherever you live, your closest professional details would come up, and then you would click on their website or call them or email them and explain the situation, and then they will make the appointment with you and go through the.
So obviously, depending where you are in the country, each dog trainer will charge slightly differently. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, that's correct. I always compare London, for instance, to a more rural, out of place.
Yes, I understand that. Greater overhead costs.
Yeah.
So there's a cost if they come out to the school. What about the online videos? Is that a standard cost? I suppose it must be.
You mean for the protocol or in general?
No, you talked about 10 online videos earlier.
Yeah. So for the protocol is one block, so the whole thing will have a certain cost. And for the visit as well, again, it would depend on the area. I would say for the protocol, you considering maybe about £300 for the whole protocol.
Well, that's
useful. It depends on the area. Yeah.
Now, does that £300 does that include the videos, or is there a separate price point?
Includes the videos. Yeah. Includes.
Right. Okay. So basically, if in a rural setting, it's going to maybe slightly less. You never know. But all the way along, it still costs roughly £300, depending where in the country you are.
Again,
which includes the videos.
Yeah. I would say if you're in like in London, for example, it would cost you more. But maybe somewhere in Devon, maybe it would cost you a bit less. It would depend, but roughly that's what you got in mind.
So that
includes the videos as well. Yeah.
Excellent. The dog does, once you've arranged a visit and payment to the dog trainer, will that dog trainer then release those 10 videos?
Yes, she'll do it with you. She'll be, or she or he, sorry. Say that you do it with me, for example, just to give an example, we'll do the session together online. so that
Yes.
you will Zoom just like we're talking now.
Yes.
And as we're talking, I will show you some photos or videos, and we'll
Yeah.
go through that with the child and a parent, at least a parent present, and
Right.
then we'll then with the parents we'll arrange the face-to-face appointments as well, where
So
in
they're
my
not
case I probably
standalone.
come with my retriever. Yeah.
Right, I understand that. So they're not standalone videos. You can't
No,
watch
no,
them
no.
by
They're
themselves.
guided by
They are part of the training process.
indeed, yeah.
I have it now. Good. I'm hoping you might let me have a couple of clips so I can illustrate that on the video that we're recording at the moment. That would be great. Okay, let's go to shops now. Thanks for
So it's like merchandise.
merchandise.
Again, things are still growing, but this is a good one because this is a freebie,
Yeah.
and freebies are always nice.
Hey, yes, yes.
So in the merchandise bay, there is you have access to the language of dogs, and that is a webinar I created on learning about canine body language. And so at the moment, it's free to download, and it's going to be for a few months or more.
And that's a webinar, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you just click on it, and then it says to add it to cart as such, but you can it'll send you the link to then watch this webinar that I
Okay,
created.
I'll show a little bit of that as well. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good.
And there is a little booklet. This is a booklet on it's a coloring in. I love coloring in as an adult, and I loved it when I was a kid as well. And so this is to teach children some basic canine body language with some lovely drawing, and every drawing has an explanation of what the dog is telling you. So you might have some stressed dogs, you might have some happy dogs. And the cool thing as well, at the end, obviously it's not illustrated here, but at the end, if you send me an email, or if you send Kids Around Dogs an email to say that you have completed your coloring in, and there is a little game to do at the end, and you've completed that, and you made me, you will get a certificate that you have finished the first booklet. And we are currently working on a second one as well. So
you're working on a second one as well. That's
yes, and the second one will be more on approaching dogs. Again, it's all about teaching children safety around dogs and respecting the dog's needs and space. So that will also be coloring in games as such. So
now, have I missed anything out, or is there anything else you wanted to add?
Well, there is something, since you ask.
Yes.
I know that professionals are also following your website and the channel. So maybe there is a school, or there are professionals that would like to apply and become themselves CAD-approved professional. So if you go on how to apply, here it says a little bit, what kind of profession you might be in. There might be that you might be interested then to become yourself a CAD-approved professional. And here there are some explanation what you get effectively, and you can get then in touch with me directly at kidsarounddogs@gmail.com. There is also I believe there is a form to fill out already here, or you can request it with me. So
sorry to interrupt. I saw teachers and head teachers.
Yes.
I mean, it's obviously early days. Have you had many teachers or head? You've got headmaster or headmistress.
So no headmasters or headmistress yet. We have a few play therapists and a couple of we have some teachers as well.
Yes.
And they are, it's funny because some are teachers assistants, and we have a couple of ex-teachers who have then entered the world of dog training, and so they're combining their experience as ex-teachers and dog professionals together with this, and some are currently still working as teachers.
Teachers as well.
And I think there is a lot of passion for dogs, and that's what leads them as well on wanting to.
This country's dog mad, no doubt. Yes. Well, pet mad actually. Anyway, Debbie, what can I say? Have you covered everything now? That's fantastic.
I believe so. I believe so. Yes. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much indeed for sharing and telling us all about the organisation and the website. And I'm going to put the website link below me so that you can hurry yourself to the website, particularly perhaps those schools are considering or have got dogs already. So, Debbie, thank you very much indeed for today.
Thank you.
Good luck. It sounds really exciting to me. Bye for now.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye, Mark.
Bye-bye.